Alright, what's up you guys? Thanks for watching that. I'm going to go a little bit into the gear that I used for this bikepacking adventure and how it worked for me, as well as talk about the trip as a whole, starting with the bike. So I used my 1987 Specialized Rockhopper. It's a rigid mountain bike. The reason why I like this bike for a casual bikepacking adventure is there's plenty of room in the frame. There's scratches all over it. I don't care about it. And it is a single speed. There is something nice about keeping it simple and casual. I think it was the correct choice for this trip. First off, this trip was a casual, after work, overnighter trip. I put that tent strapped there with a few different P cords, or one P cord and a black diamond strap. I had to adjust it once on the way out, and then before I came back I made sure it was super tight and not going anywhere, just to make sure I wasn't dealing with any annoying bag slips on my way back. In my frame I used a Blackburn triangle bag. Worked really well. I had it pretty much maxed out for space. I was fully extended. As you can see, there's some room on the side where my knees would hit. There's probably some room to put more gear in there, but we were trying to keep it light and casual, so I was not trying to make that the biggest bag I had. So in the back I had my saddlebag, and that's where I put my sleeping bag and a rain jacket, and that's about it. That one worked really well. You can get that one pretty dang tight if you can get the stuff sack to a reasonable size, so it is closer to that saddle. I opted to go with a 50-degree bag, and I was able to get it pretty small, so I think that was actually one of the more dialed bags of my whole setup. As for what I was carrying, I was wearing a 20-liter Osprey mountain bike pack. That is where I had a hydration pack and a few other essentials like a toothbrush. Another notable thing was I didn't bring a sleeping pad. I did, yes, forget that. As well, I did have a small little puncture in my rear tire. The pressure was probably down 10 or 15 psi by the time I woke up and biked out of there. So it actually made for a nice supple ride, and I was kind of just crossing my fingers that I wasn't going to pitch flat out there. But it worked out. As you can see, we weren't dealing with the hardest terrain. We did encounter some mud and definitely some rocks, but it was a pretty tame trip. Overall, had a blast. Those guys are great to hang out with. So if you've made it this far, I appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to try and make more videos like this, hopefully going into more detail of my gear and my bikes and what have you. But until then, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.